let's just reflect that we were talking about Kwasi Kwarteng announcing that he's bringing forward that medium-term fiscal plan and the accompanying OBR forecast to Halloween, 31st of October.
And for some MPs, this latest U-turn is the right one, with the chairman of the Treasury Select Committee, Conservative Mel Stride, tweeting that he strongly welcomes this decision, which might, hope is, result in smaller rises in interest rates.
But remember that announcement coming just 5 days after the Chancellor insisted it was the 23rd of November and would remain. All that in the exclusive interview he gave at the Conservative Party conference to our economics and business editor, Liam Halligan.
You are going to bring forward the fiscal assessment in conjunction with the Office of Budget Responsibility. You said in your speech yesterday that will happen shortly. Is shortly before the 23rd?
So shortly is the 23rd. I mean, people reading the runes and parsing.
So it is going to be the 23rd of November. You're not bringing that fiscal plan forward.
It's going to be the 23rd of November.
Okay.
23rd of November until it becomes 31st of October, which is Halloween, just by. So, has he been spooked by the markets or his own MPs?
I think it's largely a political thing. I mean, we should never forget that Mel Stride, a very competent chair of the Treasury Select Committee, Tory MP, was, of course, Rishi Sunak's campaign manager, so I think there's a bit of mischief
just a bit
going on here. Look, what's actually happening here is that there's a long-term rise in interest rates. All this political drama and shenanigans, it hasn't really affected borrowing costs today on what we call the 10-year gilt market, where the government borrows money. That rate sets the benchmark for where mortgage holders borrow money, where the interest rates on your personal loans and so on. This is aside from the Bank of England. The Bank of England is now following the markets. The markets decide how much we all pay to borrow when we're taking on new loans. And today, that rate has continued to creep up, pretty much in line with the trend where it's been creeping up by tiny increments for the last 3 or 4 weeks. What is actually happening here is a long-term shift in the global interest rate cycle as we retreat from over a decade of ultra-low rates, over a decade of massive money printing across the Western world and parts of Asia too. That's what's actually happening.
But Liam, how could the Chancellor say one thing to you on television last week and it's not even a week later?
How can a politician
take
do such
a different
thing?
position? But what sort of effect does that have on the stability of how people view our economy and the handling of that economy?
It certainly points to a lack of grip, absolutely, and the markets don't like that. And in the end, that could lead to slightly higher interest rates. But it's not as if this is the spark. It's not the cause of. It's not the underlying trend and shift that's happening. The underlying trend and shift that's happening is happening across the world. Interest rates are going up everywhere. Interest rates in the States, the US, are much higher than here. And that's one reason why the pound is falling, because if you put money in dollars, you get more of a return. But I completely agree with you, Gloria. It's not ideal. It's a long way from ideal when an incoming Chancellor, an incoming Prime Minister are clearly being buffeted and pushed around, not least by members of their own party.